Tonight, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Detroit Lions taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Ford Field. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much, his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. But I've loved watching him evolve as a quarterback. He gets better and better each year.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Open man is Quintez Cephas. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A gain of 9.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
There on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Back to the running game with Swift. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Ball carrier.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 27 yards. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown. kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Allow me a second here to gush, because in his college career, the only player in NCAA history to rush for over 1,500 yards and pass for over 3,500 yards in a season, and he did it twice.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Yet he only won the Heisman Trophy once.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
A gain of 4 yards and a Raven first down.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson. Looking downfield for Dez. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Throwing again. Jackson escaping the pressure right. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flushed out right. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
He may try and run for this. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. He's to the 10, and all the way down to the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round? That's what I call a steal.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a throw here, hauled in. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Now Prater to add the PAT. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six, eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson out to his left. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards.
Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Incomplete. It's second down and 10.
To throw again. Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And now Stafford must not be pleased with something. He's going to turn, and he signals for a timeout, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And an incomplete pass.
Stafford's pass.
That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again. Stafford.
That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Throwing again is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
A 48-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Makes the score Lions 17. Ravens 14.
Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation,
into a double team and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the veteran quarterback, Matthew Stafford. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. And he'll drop here to throw. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
To throw is Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, but it's going to be 2nd down. To throw again, Jackson. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker now to add the point after.
The extra point.
It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
17. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
On 2nd down, Swift. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
This throw caught right around the 6. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Prater on to add the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth. And who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there?
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Right back to Dobbins on first. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On second and 11 now. Jackson escaping the pressure right.
That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing is Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Intended for Willie Snead. Incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied.
24.
We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
At their own 25-yard line.
Another shot now for this Lions offense. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest to this fourth quarter.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll throw from the gun. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Well, this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And some room to work. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That would be good for 26 and a first down.
20 yards. First down, Ravens.
Here's Dobbins. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally down at the 9-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Dobbins. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's second and goal operating from the 8-yard line. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, no, he lost the football. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation. They keep the football.
Fumble on the play.
Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
So crisis averted, but now facing third and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long fourth and goal.
Gain of a yard. It's now 4th and goal.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Is good. Makes the score Ravens 27. Lions 24.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
So Stafford and the Lions now. Down 27-24, a minute 56 to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10. Now it's Stafford. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Back to throw. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They snap it to Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hawkinson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
He's going to let it fly. He's got him in, complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Over the middle, it's Amendola. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
And 3 at the 30.
On second down now, Swift. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Stafford. His throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that'll bring up second down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. He can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
At the 9-yard line.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And they will take a knee here as time will likely run out on regulation, and we'll go to overtime. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
And the Ravens taking the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A huge play there in overtime. 44 yards. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass, and everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Jackson flushed out right. And this is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd and 4.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether we're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clumping.
And he is in for a score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as They win it on the road in overtime. To see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.